Bellator MMA 258 is Friday, May 7th on Showtime. What a card. And on that card, Logan Storley fighting a big welterweight fight. And it's going to be so much action on Showtime. Logan, thank you so much. Hey, what does Bellator 258 mean to you? And also being on Showtime.
Yeah, it's a big deal. But really, for me, it's about to get back in there and go get a W. So that's what I'm most focused on right now, is putting on a good performance and really going out there and putting on just getting a dominant victory.
How do you view your opponent? How do you view Omar in this battle?
He's a tough competitor. He's long, he's rangy, kind of switches stances, trains with a good team, with Team Alpha Male. So I know he's experienced, but I don't think he's seen the level of fighters I have, and has quite the experience that I have.
Logan, because of the pandemic and just everything going on, your last fight was November of 2020. For you, what has it been like during that whole time frame and just getting back into all this?
Yeah, obviously I fought, and then Bellator took a little break, 4 months. So it wasn't just me, it's every fighter, that was kind of just waiting and training. And so there's really nothing you can do. It's not like it was an injury or something happened, you didn't get the fight you wanted, we just couldn't fight for those few months. So now the ability to get back in here, and I want to be active this year. That's my biggest goal, is to have dominant performances and be active. That's why you fight professionally, do this for a living. But you have to stay active, and in order to reach that peak, you gotta continue to get in there and get that experience.
Logan, you have an impressive 11-1 record. You had a 10-fight win streak. Your last fight was a split decision loss. Do you get more out of the losses? Do you get more out of the victories? Does it mean more for a win, a loss? In your mindset, how does that work?
Yeah, obviously we were both undefeated, and now he's fighting for the title. I knew that was a big fight, and obviously, I thought it went my way, but, one judge didn't. So split decision loss, it always hurts. But at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do now, so you just go back to the drawing board and get ready for this fight. I learned a lot in that fight. It was a very, very close fight. We were both, both undefeated, and if you win that fight, you're fighting for a title right now. So I've learned a lot, and a lot of experience, just a lot of little situations that I haven't felt before, and so I think that will make me grow more than ever, and I'm excited to get out there and show, the improvements I've made from that last fight.
And Logan, follow up on that. Do you think, too, as a fighter, that the losses hit more in a fighter than the wins do? That you take those more than a win, or not necessarily?
Obviously it stings more. When you get a win, you're happy, and you're just happy that W and all the hard work paid off. And it's a loss to kind of look into it a little bit and kind of, try to figure out what went wrong exactly and how do I change this. And just you really look into small positions a lot more during a fight that you lost, especially a close fight. And so it made me examine some things I needed to change. And, when you're always winning, you don't really have to change that much, because it's always, some of the same things are always working.
Well, not to give too much away for you and your fight and what's going to happen on Friday, Bellator 258 on Showtime. What is it like working on those changes and the coaches and the trainers that you're working with? What a great team.
Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, is I truly believe I have the best team in the world. And you look at my coaches and the experience of my training partners, and Henri Hooft's seen everything. Tommy Barzini's seen everything from the wrestling world to the MMA world. Robbie, Lawler, former champ, has been in many, many battles, some of the greatest fights of all time. Former champ. Then I spent a lot of time this camp with Mike Chandler, former Bellator champ, now trying to win a UFC belt. Gilbert Burns. There's just so many guys that have helped me and it gives you a lot of confidence going into fights where you've trained with the best of the best, and you know in your head you can compete with these guys and win positions with guys like that, so you can go out there and do it in real action.
Now we're talking about Sanford MMA in South Florida, and I'm wondering too, were you at Hard Knocks 365 before it became Sanford MMA, or did you join?
Yep.
Okay, so you were there for Hard Knocks. Were you there before Hard Knocks?
Yeah, I was there for Combat Club, so I've been in South Florida 4 years now. So Combat Club was right after like Black Stallions, and then it went to Combat Club, and then it went to Hard Knocks, and now we're at Sanford. So I've been here 4 years. So it's been a lot of, getting, at this point, you've been with the team 4 years and the coaches, and so I kind of know what's going on and really hone in on the small changes that we need to make.
Logan, Sanford MMA, it's a one-stop shop. It's a game changer. I was over there about a month ago. What a facility. What a great place. Don't take anything away from the facilities. The people, Henri Hooft, Greg Jones, the people have been in place prior to Sanford MMA. But just the facility itself, what was it like when you first went into that facility?
It was great. It was really, it changed the scene, American Top Team, they have a great facility. We have a great facility, a real world-class facility. Coming from Division I, wrestling, Minnesota just built their new 6-mat room, glass windows, office overlooking everything, and this is kind of where MMA is transitioning from the small, dinky gym into a real world, state-of-the-art, world-class facility. And it was just huge to find, to get to see that and for it to be our gym. And so it's definitely makes things easier, and having more space for more partners, and having a full cage in there, and then connected to us is Barwith, which works with all NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB guys, guys getting ready for the draft. So you just got world-class athletes on both sides, and that's been really, really key to my success.
Well, you mentioned Henri Hooft, and you mentioned some of the training partners, fighters are there. You mentioned Robbie, Lawler, Mike Chandler, Gilbert Burns, Jason Jackson also. Yeah. You're working with all these guys. It's just a tremendous facility. And South Florida in general, because you mentioned American Top Team, and there's Masters down in Miami. This area is like a hotbed, Logan, for South Florida for training MMA fighters.
Yeah, you got so many, you got great MMA gyms, then you got so many smaller BJJ gyms everywhere. Every corner you go around, you see some kind of BJJ gym, with kids and adults, and so it's just a lot of combat sports in South Florida. It really is crazy.
Well, Logan, you also mentioned University of Minnesota. What a great amateur wrestling college. 4-time Division I All-American. You were a stud. Greg Jones. I learned this. I don't think people realize Greg Jones at Sanford MMA. What a true legend he is in wrestling. What is it like for you? And what is your association like? And what have you known about Greg?
Yeah, Greg was a 3-time Division I national champ. One of the greatest NCAA wrestlers of all time. And so for me to get to go in there and work with him, I knew that a lot of guys in MMA, their wrestling kind of fades a little bit because you don't spend as much time. You're spending time with BJJ, striking, and I truly believe that my wrestling has gotten better since I left college, with the ability to work with Greg and Kami, two of the best in the business that have seen so many different guys. Kami, originally from Iran, have that different style, and he's seen so much. And then Greg Jones, being a 3-time national champ, that definitely helps your wrestling get stronger.
And this is coming from a 6-time high school state champion. Like I said, a 4-time Division I All-American. Incredible high school record, 262-3. College record, 119-27. It's just amazing. Logan, Did you have aspirations of going to the Olympics?
Yeah, I definitely looked into it, and that was my goal, from since I was little, was be a professional athlete or be an Olympic, an Olympian, Olympic champ. And so, at that time there wasn't RTCs, regional training centers for wrestling, and so it was really hard to make a living doing it. And I think I was at the end of the cycle, so Jordan Burroughs was at my weight the first year, and Kyle Dake and those guys, and I knew that would be tough, as a 20-year-old kid, to go and compete with those guys right out of the gates my first cycle, and then you have to wait 4 years. And so that's a long wait. And so I just decided to make the transition into MMA, and knew financially I could probably do better, and I really wanted to be world champ. And I felt like MMA gave me that opportunity, that avenue to be a world champ and be able to do something full time and not have to have a second job.
You've been doing it well, and you got close to getting that title fight. And I'm curious, a win on Friday, Bellator 258, where do you think that gets you next?
Yeah, I think it just continues to push me up and just prove to everyone, we'll see how that Amasov fight goes with Lima June 11th. Obviously, I'm not worried about that right now. I have to go take care of my job on Friday night, and then kind of just wait and see, how that fight plays out, what Bellator wants to do next. So for me, it's you take care of Friday night first, and that's always been my, what I always say is you got to take care of what's in front of you, and then I guess we'll kind of go to the drawing board and see what shakes out the next month.
Well, Logan Storley is doing an incredible job, and I have to go back to University of Minnesota. It's just, what an incredible college university for wrestling. Are you friendly? Do you text, talk with University of Minnesota standout, All-American, former UFC champion, WWE champion, Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, he's from my hometown, so that's originally what kind of led me to MMA. Was Brock was an influence on my life. Had the same high school coach, and Brock, seeing Brock do it, coming from a small town, seeing his success that he had at the UFC, and really kind of helped me kind of transition into MMA, and want to go do this for a career.
And that's Webster, South Dakota, and then the University of Minnesota. And it's interesting. How is he? I mean, just what kind of legend is he back in Webster? And I know you want to make your own mark, but is that you like to achieve those goals that he's achieved?
Yeah, he set the bar, and it's really, it's awesome to have a guy come from your same small town. He was a farm kid. I'm a farm kid, and to see his success and what he got done, and now for me it'd be awesome to bring back another belt to a town of 1,800 people, and to have two world champs would be pretty incredible. And we have a really supportive town that really takes care of us, and I always see pictures and people that get together and watch the fight, and that means a lot to me, and I'm sure it meant a lot to him. And so just pretty blessed to have that small town feel and the support I still have even after I've been out 10 years from high school.
Well, we're going to wrap this up, and I'm thinking, Logan, the path that you're going, that someday we'll see the sign, "Welcome to Webster, South Dakota, home of Brock Lesnar and Logan Storley."
Yeah, I'd enjoy that. So I hope to get that done.
Oh, man, that would be awesome. And hey, also, there's a kid, Gable Steveson, made the Olympic team, won a championship for the University of Minnesota. Do you still follow it all? Do you know Gable at all?
Yeah, no, I stay in touch with Minnesota coaches quite often, and talk to Gable, and just check in on the boys every now and then. I kind of I used to go back, before the pandemic, I'd go back and wrestle with the guys, and And so I still stay in touch with a lot of the wrestlers and check up on them, and the coaches are still close. So after this fight, I'll be going back and going to see the guys. So, no, I definitely stay in touch with them.
That is so cool. And I want to thank you for the time. And I want you to know, if you didn't know, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, Gable Steveson have been in or are going to be in WWE. And I'm wondering, Logan Storley, the University of Minnesota connection, could we see Logan Storley in WWE?
I don't know, maybe, I guess. I think it'd be a cool experience. It's definitely a different experience than stepping in the cage, but, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I've got the name for the faction, Logan. You could say you came up with it. The Golden Rule. Golden Gophers, the rule of it all. You guys make the rules. The Golden Rule. Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, Gable Steveson, and Logan Storley.
I like it.
Hey, Logan, thank you so much. I enjoyed it. All the best. Bellator 258, Friday, May 7th on Showtime. Go get them.